Ladies and gentlemen, boy nerds and girl nerds, welcome to London Barcraft. I'm Jarasar and I'm incredibly excited, not only because of StarCraft, but because I may have just returned home from a reasonably well-known international retail store that had a major product launch on Friday, and I may have struck some sort of deal with them that effectively means I got one of those products for free, but I can't talk about that publicly. Needless to say, though, that makes me quite excited, and I'm also here to present a couple of awesome games to you. I'm here presenting the Nearly There category of awards, where we're going to be dishing out loot at London Barcraft over MLG Orlando weekend. If you're watching this in the Assembly House, hello! And if you're watching this on YouTube later, you're going to be very confused, but basically, this cast was played live at Barcraft, and therefore it's a little bit different from how I would normally go around analyzing a game. Now, the Nearly There category is basically we asked London Barcrafters to submit their replays of games where they almost pulled off something and then proceeded to categorically lose. So reasonably simple stuff. I do actually have an honorable mention I wanted to point out, which is, let's take a quick look here. Yes, Nikolai in 2 vs 2. Honorable mention because an incredibly entertaining game. You sieged up with spine crawlers and then had Banshee support in a 2v2 versus mass roaches, and you did actually very well. Unfortunately, you didn't actually fail. You ended up winning the game, so we're not really sure why you submitted the replay, but we loved watching it. Thank you very much. But that's only an honorable mention. Sadly, there are no prizes for that. And we're now going to jump into the runner-up game, which, if I switch over here, there's my keyboard, haha, is going to be between our blue Terran, our Nearly There fail Terran, Baki, spawning at the top left corner, and Lemony I know this guy, Lemony Tang, spawning as the red Terran in the bottom right corner. So this is going to be very, very interesting. Lemony Tang, the reason I was surprised is because actually Lemony Tang was one of the people that participated in our London Barcraft event online a couple of weeks ago. So both of these people appear to be London Barcrafters. We're going to see what's going to get up. If you guys thought that these were thoroughly prepared, we carefully watch all the replays before submitting them, then unfortunately you're reasonably wrong. This is the first time I've seen any of these replays. Florian emailed them to me and said, "Can you cast these?" And I said, "Sure, I'll do them tonight." And unfortunately, that's about all I know. So I haven't seen these replays before. I don't even know who's in them until I glance quickly at my notes. And I have no idea how long these replays are going to be or what kind of strategies people are going to employ. But what we do know is we're going to see some sweet, sweet fail. So we do have SCVs being prodded out around the map to hopefully get a bit of scouting done by both players. And otherwise, things are looking surprisingly normal at the moment. We might end up seeing some sort of 11 racks, or maybe we go like a 4 or 5 racks all in off one base from back here. I'm not really sure what we're going to see here. It looks like this SCV is going to scout the wrong location first, as is Lemony Tang's SCV down here at the south. So not too much going on just yet. And that's right, Baki now knows exactly where Lemony Tang is, and Lemony Tang knows exactly where Baki is, because obviously you cannot spawn opposite each other on this map. It's possible you might have been able to spawn opposite each other in the beta. I'm not willing to say if that's true or not. But definitely you can't do it in tournaments, and certainly not on ladder anymore either. So we have got the Warlock preventing Lemony Tang from scouting. He's just going to do a little bit of harass on this supply depot. And, oh, look, it's not actually being built. So if he's not careful, Lemony Tang is going to take this down. That could be slightly embarrassing. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, and the raise, rather the lower on the supply depot just about saves it. Oh, the SUV's getting pulled to stop it from dying. Lemony Tang going back, but he goes into the refinery. And come on, run. And I think Lemony Tang has to haul. Oh, no. And he couldn't even raise, so Lemony Tang does get away with his SCV as well. But in the meantime, oh my goodness, we have the proxy factory going down on the top right here for Baki. So it looks like some very interesting action is going to commence. Now, Lemony Tang did scout Baki's base. He saw that he was one raxing, and he also saw that not a lot else was going on. So I'll have to wait and see how this is a nearly there. Lemony Tank does have a couple of Marines stopping any further scout at his ramp. The wounded SCV with his wounded pride unable to actually pick off that 5 health SCV that is now proudly mining from the refinery there. He's now heading back to base. Nothing to report, so don't worry. We didn't see anything at all. I didn't have the opportunity to do something lols, and we're just going to pop straight back into mining minerals. We do have a command center building for Lemony Tang, preparing to go for the macro game, and another 2 barracks coming out as well, so it looks like we're just going to go marine heavy. Meanwhile, we have a tech lab being put down. Is it a tech lab? No. Forgive me. Oh my goodness, hang on a second. The tech lab is going down on the factory, and we also have an armory going up here. So guess what's going to happen, guys? Here comes the Thor rush, except there are 5 Marines here. So we're going to see some cheesy proxy Thors here. That is until these 5 Marines decide, no, hang on a second, I'm just going to show up and kill you. 1 Hellion is being produced, but it doesn't look like that's going to be able to be too effective, especially considering the factory might go down shortly after it comes out. The SCV building the factory does go down as well. Backy's, not really sure what to do here. I thought this was going to work. Lemony Tang with the lulls. And it looks like the Hellion is going to pop out. What's he going to do? Is he going to roast all these Marines? 1 shot, 2 shots, and bye-bye. Oh dear, this probably didn't work out too well. And Backy with the GG. Almost could have worked. Proxy Thors might have done some damage. Unfortunately, all these Marines were, halfway across the map because you proxied everything. And it looks like these 5 Marines from Lemony Tang are just going to save the day. So, thank you very much to Backy for submitting this replay. This is going to be the runner-up. And now I'm going to quickly switch back while I just check out who the winning replay was going to be, because I'm going to cast both in one sitting. Hopefully I don't screw something up. So where is it? There you are. We're just loading up this replay now for you. Hang on 1 second. Well done to Backy, who is runner-up and wins some loot at London Barcraft. But right now, let's get straight into the winning replay. And please bear in mind, once again, I have absolutely no idea what's going on in these. So, we are going back into the game, and we have spawning as our red Terran in the top left, XSoft, who sounds like a cross between Xbox and Microsoft, and he couldn't decide where his allegiance held more. Obviously on the Xbox, right? Because it's a gaming platform. But so he's picked the compromise with XSoft, and on the bottom left we have our Terran hero Insanity, who is going to be our player in this winning replay in the nearly there category. Now, Insanity, I believe, is a London Barcrafter by the name of Tom Everton, so congratulations to you, but we're now going to scrutinize your fail in epic detail. So we do see the SCV going out to scout. Nowhere close, unfortunate. And we also have an SCV coming out from XSoft. Not a lot happening in the early game. And because I have just seen the length of this replay, I'm just going to speed it up to ×4 just for a second, see what both of these players do in the early game. We do actually have normal stuff, Supply Depot going down. XSoft does get scouted by Insanity. That SCV now currently moving faster than I can scroll, apparently. We do have the barracks going down. Oh my god! Let's slow this right down. Here we go, the proxy racks outside the expansion. In fact, right next to XSoft's racks, behind the minerals. Does XSoft see it? Of course he does not. This is going to be brilliant. No gas whatsoever taken from Insanity, so it looks like this proxy is just going to be the Mariners, and we do have a second SCV managing to poke around it. Oh my god, we have a bunker being placed between the main and the natural, where the Marines are now coming out to scout, and they're going to see a bunker! He's going, what the hell is this? Why is there a base here? This is wrong. First Marine taking ages to come out. That Marine unfortunately hitting the bunker instead of scouting it. Now the proxy racks does actually get scouted. This could be terrible for Insanity. That Marine insists on hunting down that SCV, but it looks like... Oh, and the SCV! Yes, he gets the kill! You absolute hero, you. He builds a bunker next to the barracks, trying to protect it. Unfortunately, 2 SCVs and a Marine are going to see that... possibly see this attack off. I don't know. This Marine's looking pretty baller, and oh no, he chose to run instead of fight, and all of a sudden this isn't going to do very well. We do have double Marine production coming out for XSoft, and it looks like he's going to be comfortably able to hold this off, unless one of those bunkers gets completed, and unfortunately there is exactly 0 SCV count killing those bunkers. Oh no, he had them on attack the bunker. Oh no, both Marines do go down. What are you doing? XSoft throwing away 2 Marines for nothing, and that is apparently quite huge, because that one hero Marine has managed to take out way more than I thought he was going to. He's not actually going to get a third, though, as this does get cleaned up by XSoft. Do we get a cancel from Insanity? Do we get a cancel? Come on, grab those minerals. No, we do not, because he wants to use Micro to put his barracks up there. Okay. Meanwhile, no orbital command for Insanity. Orbital command over here. No gas for Insanity either. We've got 1 gas with 3 harvesters mining over here and double factory coming down for XSoft. So things looking reasonably healthy for him. In the meantime, if we take a quick look, we do have 14 SCVs against 18. Somehow Insanity is still ahead. Obviously, XSoft must have missed some sort of timing on his SCD production rather late, a bit earlier while that rush was going on. We do have a tech lab and a reactor going down on these barracks now, so it looks like XSoft is going to transition into a reasonably comfortable macro game. But what is... oh my god. We have the Ninja expansion at our opponent's 4th. I believe that's the 4th. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, his opponent's 4th coming out from Insanity. Unfortunately, this good supply depot placement. There we go, and he sees everything. Things are going from bad to worse for Insanity. Everything gets scouted, and I suspect if I were XSoft, I would let this command center finish, so that as soon as it finishes, I'd send the Marines in, because if I send the Marines in now, he has the opportunity to cancel. We're going to have to wait and see what he does, though, and it does look like he's going to know. He's going to send 1 Marine just to check up on the high ground to make sure there isn't anything else here, and he's going to lower that supply depot in case its profile means it gets seen by Insanity. No, it won't. It's fine. Right, so the Marines are coming out around. They are going to spot the barracks and go through that. I wonder if... Jesus Christ, hold on a second. What went on here? Okay, we have the simple quadruple expand. It looks like Insanity has got his London Barcraft carefully mixed up with his Fun Day Monday. If I remember correctly, last week's Fun Day Monday was expand 4 times before you do anything. And it does look like Insanity has successfully managed to be on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases, although it doesn't actually look like he's mining, because if we take a look, Insanity's 19 to 31 supply. This barracks is going to burn down. This command center is looking pretty hilarious over here. So this fail game is about to get even more fail, but it doesn't actually look that bad yet on the grounds that he has 3 frickin' bases to back him up. Okay, so back in the base, what do we have? Still no gas, because who needs gas when I have expansions? We do have a grand total of 1 Marine for Insanity against 8 Marines and 1 Marauder and 4 Hellions for XSoft. So I would say Red has a small advantage right about now, and he should probably exert his map pressure just a little bit. We'll see how it goes. And I'm also quite... oh no, hang on, we've got another expansion. Or was that there already? I'm not sure. No, that was a new one. Oh my goodness. So he loses a base and he goes, no, I definitely want to be on 4 base right now. Or 5 base. And it's like, so he builds a 5th base down here. Excellent choice, Insanity. I'm really not sure what this is going to transition into. We do have double barracks at the choke, which suggests that he knows there's absolutely no way he can hold this, and he's going to transition to losing his whole frickin' base. Meanwhile, at XSoft, it looks like we're seeing some pretty nice supply depot placement, trying to make sure that those drops don't come in. But of course, there aren't any drops because there aren't any medevacs, and even if there were medevacs, what you need to put in them are units. So it doesn't look like this is going to be a problem. Right, we do have a whole bunch of mules dropping at the expansion. In the meantime, these SCVs trying to repair the bunker, but the Hellion roasting them. Oh, this is horrible. Insanity trying to rally some SCVs, and they are melting, oh, like butter on hotcakes. I'm hungry. To this Hellion over here, and it looks like access to the base will be granted. XSplit going to conveniently sweep in and kill stuff, but it's okay because we do have 2 Marines to defend against this army, which currently consists of a Marauder, a Hellion, and 6 Marines, so I'm sure this will be fine. And no, he backs away. Those burning buildings are an occupational hazard. Health and safety says stand well away from explosions, so this red army here is just going to stay well away. in case stuff goes nuclear. Okay, now both the barracks have died. Various components have dropped out of them. One even disappearing into the chasm there. I don't know if you caught that. And this army is going to transition into attacking. Attack in here. Come on, let's do this. Insanity creeping up to 28 supply now. Xsoft only at 65. Attack! There we go. We're going to attack. STV does go down. It's alright. Hero Marine Defense! And, it didn't seem to work too well. And it looks like everything in his main base is just going to frickin' die. Blue Flame now complete for those Hellions. Transitioning into siege tanks. And 2 more gases being taken. So reasonably solid macro game from Xsoft so far. We now see him... Come on, saturate that. Let's get that orbital up. Do something. Don't make me look silly. Reasonably good macro game, as we said. However, we do have... Okay, 6 racks going down at an expansion because, well, if you're a Terran on 5 base, you clearly need 6 racks. It's a pity this isn't quite saturated yet. Or, this. Or, this. Or, this. But we'll get there, don't worry. Meanwhile, everything just dying, the orbital command just sort of chilling out at the bottom, and Xsoft wondering what the hell he has to do to win this game. He's probably thinking to himself right now, let's take a look at Xsoft vision. That's right, he doesn't know about the other bases. He's just sat there probably thinking, ugh, I have to get a Viking out now to kill this noob, because unfortunately, he's going to make life that much harder for me, and he's hiding his orbital in the corner. Little does he know, though, we're actually on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 base 6 if you count the floating one. So it looks like he is going to scout around with his Hellions and grab control of those Zelnaga watchtowers. Unfortunately, none of those watchtowers are actually going to see the base. Oh, it does look like his Hellion is going to come up here and things are going to get discovered. What the hell? There's a base here! That Hellion going to report back or not, as the case may seem. A couple of tires do get chucked about as it goes up in smoke. Oh dear, so right now, target number 1, base over here, and all of a sudden scrambling to take that 3rd base. Insanity helping him out with this one SCV, come on, give us a hand. Doing very well. And it looks like we're going to have some SCV on SCV action here. Oh no, 2 on 1, that's just unfair. Not to mention Hellions, siege tanks, and... Well, no, just Hellions and siege tanks, no Marines or Marauders. That SCV does go down. Xsoft presumably is now safe to take a 3rd base. Oh, and it looks like Insanity can expand 3 more times. But it doesn't matter because these... because these expansions are just going to go down reasonably quickly. He does still have this command center. I wonder if Xsoft is going to scout it or if he's going to go up here and try and attack this barracks straight away. He does actually move back, and he's not going to see this expansion. So... the moral of the story, ladies and gentlemen, basically is, if you have infinite ninja expansions, you're not going to find all of them. Keep it up. Just keep going. Right, so back into the game, he's like scouting at the central position, conveniently ignoring the position he was right next to. And he does know about these barracks, but for some reason doesn't want to go anywhere near them. So Insanity now sitting on a crazy amount of money and a little bit of gas. Let's see what he's going to do with that. Meanwhile, Xsoft does have excess gas here. I'd like to see him do something with that. He has got stim up. Does he have double engineering bays? Is he pumping out those upgrades? No, the engineering bay is doing nothing. Do something with that gas. What else can we research? Okay, stuff has been researched here. Maybe you can research a strike cannon. I'd love to see that in a game. But otherwise, not too much going on. Of course, when you demolish your opponent's entire base and then scout and see nothing except a couple of barracks... Oh, now he does see that as well. Fair enough. Here's what you have to do. Siege up with your tanks and wait. Come on, guys, we can do this. And this expansion does get found. There is going to be no lift on that command center because, in fact, Insanity has it selected, so I'm not really sure what's going on there. You couldn't just repaired a little bit of it and tried to run it away, but it looks like that command center is simply going to go down. Amusingly, we now finally at a 3-base versus, never mind, this is back, a 3-base versus 4-base situation. So Xsoft has been behind on bases all game long, even though he had a supply of more than double at one point. And Insanity is caught up in supply. This is incredible. 108 to 102. It looks like Insanity... Oh, hold on, though, because Xsoft has taken a page out of Insanity's book, and he's now double expanding himself. Just scouting this expansion here. Of course, the rocks are still there, so no harm done. But Insanity is just going to completely max out on Marines, it looks like. Let's take a look at those upgrades. 0-0. And his opponent has Hellions and Siege Tanks. This could get interesting. Meanwhile, we do have basically a paved garden of supply depots in this top right base for Insanity, looking very pretty. Unfortunately, he missed a spot right there. Gonna have to do better than that, I'm afraid, my friend. Sim City. Gonna have to practice on that game, but that's okay. We do have little claw marks there, obviously, from where bears have clearly been. And these Hellions, Marines, and Marauders are going to momentarily find this completely naked base and just have themselves a wallop of 18 SCVs. Meanwhile, we still have this command center finally building some SCVs, but it's okay, we have 3 mules, but we don't actually want to use them just yet. Meanwhile, back in base, what have we got producing? We have sensor towers being produced by XSoft, because he's like, you've expanded everywhere, I've got absolutely no clue where you are, I need to find out, I'm just going to build sensor towers all over the place, so you can't keep fooling me. He does have those starports, but I believe he doesn't have any starport units out, because I think he initially built those to make sure. Hang on a second. Am I going to have to kill this floating orbital over here, which is now ironically expanded back to the main? And then he realized, oh no, I'm just going to use my ground units and kill your other base. Speaking of killing other bases, did I say 18 SCVs? I meant 0. And everything is going to get absolutely demolished over on this side of the map. But bizarrely, Insanity's pop is now 148 to XSoft's 120. My god, he's macroing like a beast. Unfortunately, it's all in 0-0 Marines, and they're going to get roasted alive by Hellions. So this is actually going to be a flaming battlefield of horrible Marine carcasses in just a moment here. We're going to have to see if XSoft is going to push up, or if he's going to wait for 20 more tanks, because it does seem slightly passive at the moment. Sieging up at the Zelnaga watchtower so he can take on any incoming attack from here, because obviously he's still sieged up in his main and he's been defending against attacks all game long. Come on, get a move on, jeez. We do have some degree of saturation at the old main now, and still 90 energy left on those. He's obviously keeping them in case he accidentally finds out he's playing a Protoss and imbalanced DTs come into his base. So we do have the Marines failing to get out of the base, or pathfinding, just having a bit of a seizure. That, or they're just organizing some sort of mosh pit here in between these two racks, and he is going to move further inside his base so that when he eventually definitely needs to get out, it's going to take him that much longer. We do have double upgrades going on for him, though, which thankfully is going to help his cause, especially since his entire army is in unupgraded Marines. We do have a siege position outside the base, although nothing actually going on just yet, and we do have the Banshee and a couple of medevacs popping out. XSoft finally beginning to use some of his macro, and it looks like the supplies are just about evening out right now. Of course, Insanity has a little bit of money left over in the bank, and maybe he could use just that teensiest bit more gas. He does have 3 on everything at the very least, but he's now effectively mining on 2 base. So clearly, when you have this much money, what do? Well, you build Marines, because they're the most imbalanced unit in the game and can kill absolutely everything. He is at least moving on to take all his gases, so I can't really complain too much, except maybe what he could do is have an expansion here, 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 and here. That would give him a little bit more gas so that he can build different units. Now, we do have a couple of medevacs popping out for Insanity, as XSoft really is playing like goody here. Just very, very slowly advancing into Insanity's base. Oh god, if that scan goes off right now, that... Oh, the Banshee's gonna do it for... Oh my god. Instant cremation for a whole bunch of those Marines. And now Insanity might actually realize that hold on a second, I have a small problem here. We could do the old... Oh, unfortunately, there's way too many bio units to do the call-down mule and use the splash damage on the siege tanks trick. So it looks like these barracks are just going to be slowly destroyed. Slightly... But it's okay, because we have... Holy crap, how many barracks do we have? We have 7 barracks with reactors in the main base, which is unfortunately getting completely taken apart by a Banshee, despite the fact that we have double engineering bay and exactly 0 turrets, and we're not actually reacting to it in any way, shape, or form. Okay, but we do have 3 barracks over here about to burn down, some time being bought by Insanity. He sends in the medevacs for moral support so they can take a look at what's going on and report back to base. And it looks like XSoft is now maxed. He's maxed because... Oh my god, and he's supply blocked, rather, because this massive drop in Insanity. Oh my goodness, going for the base race, deciding to counter instead. We do have some stray medevacs with shit in them over here. Do something with them, dude. And, but it looks like we're going to have a bit of a base race situation, unfortunately. XSoft does have a base here with 3 missile turrets. I wonder if Insanity knows about it. No, he does not. Alright, so everything getting taken apart. No idea who is going to win first, but unfortunately Xsoft has a base that Insanity simply does not know about, and it looks like those STVs are going to get suicided into the line. Uh-oh, he has got... Oh no, Siege Tanks and a Thor are going to halt the progress of these nothing but Marines. These medevacs sitting there being taken out by the missile turrets, and it looks like this drop from Insanity is unfortunately going to fail, and therefore this base race is just going to become a... baseless. Ugh. Okay, that joke went horribly wrong. But basically, Insanity is going to lose everything, and XSplit, whatever, is just going to simply siege up and clear everything out. So we do have Insanity with the moral support medevacs here, giving the GG to Xsoft. So close, yet so far. Oh my goodness, that was an absolutely insane game. Well done to Insanity for submitting it and therefore winning our Nearly There award. Insanity, of course, Terran versus Terran. You guys should really pick this up. What do? You mass expand. But what if your mass expand fails? Not a problem. I'm just going to build a crap ton of barracks and hope that unupgraded Marines will win me the game. And then, oh, hang on a second. They almost did win me the game, but not quite. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into a base race, and that didn't seem to win either. But anyway, thank you very much for those submitted games. Hopefully they were quite entertaining, and we're now going to get back to MLG. Well done again to our two winners, of course. We had Insanity and we had Baki, so you guys are going to be grabbing some loot from Florian a little bit later. And that's it from me. Thank you very much. Catch you later, Barcraft. Have a good one. Ciao!